Right, we've got a standard form question here. We've got to express. We've basically got to do this, haven't we? 10, all right, to the minus a third. Okay, so there's various different ways of doing this in a sense, or various different orders, perhaps. And you're essentially doing the same thing every time. I would deal with the negative first of all. So first of all, I would do this. All right, the negative means it's a reciprocal, isn't it? Then I'm going to cube root everything. So I get 1 over 2 times 10 to the 3n. Right, that's all pretty straightforward first of all. Okay, and I can now write that as a half times 10 to the minus 3n. Okay, and you probably end up with roughly 2 marks there. Now, I don't really want a half there, so I'm going to call that 0.5 instead. Now, that's not quite in standard form, is it? I need to move the decimal point or multiply by a 10 to the minus 1, okay, to make that into standard form. So I'm going to have 5 times 10 to the minus 3n, and then because I've had to move the decimal point or shift everything along place value, I need to take away another 1. And that's your answer. Now, there's a lot of, have a think about it. It's not the easiest question in the world, that, if I'm totally honest, but break it down into stages becomes a lot easier. So just deal with each part separately, do it one step at a time. Don't try and do the whole lot at once, because when I first looked at this question, if I'm totally honest, I tried to do a couple of stages at once, got a little bit lost, and then had to go back and thought I'd start again and just did it a stage at a time, and actually it's pretty straightforward. But like I say, it's not the nicest unless you break it down into very simple little steps.